So today we are unboxing and reviewing the Permablend Permapen SIgnature machine. This is their newest machine and I'm super excited about it. So let's go ahead and unbox it and take a look. Right out of the box, this is what it looks like. You have the option of purchasing the machine with the power supply, the wireless power supply, or you can get a backup battery, which is definitely a recommendation. I opted for just the battery, the one battery. So this is, you can see this is just a cardboard insert right there. And take the machine out, and in the box, okay, so in the box we've got this little information card that has some information about the machine. You can also go to permablend.com, and if you click on the machine in the shop, there is a user manual that you can download as well that has all the specs and all of the information. And then also in the box you've got the power cord. So this is not a corded machine, and it is not intended to be a corded machine. So if your battery dies, and this is why I say it's not a bad idea to buy the backup battery, because if your machine dies, you cannot plug it in. So this is the battery pack right here, and this is your power supply also. So all of your all the voltages are here, your up and down button and your power button. I'll turn it on in a second, but I just wanted to kind of talk about this real quick because this is the charging port. It's a USB-C, and while this is where you're going to charge it when you're not using it, if your battery dies, you do not want to use the machine while it is plugged in. It's not good for the battery and the motor. So as per the manufacturer's instructions, don't do that. So if you like using a corded machine, then you can always opt for the Permablend Icon, which was their first machine, the Permapen Icon. I'll do a comparison video in another video, but for now I just want to talk about this one. So this is the icon. This is the icon here, and again, for this one you need to purchase a separate power supply or use an RCA cable. So if that's your gig and you like that better, then that's the machine for you. So like I said, this is the power supply up here, and it turns on by just pushing that button. And then this blinking light tells you what the voltage is. So the voltage is going to be designated by the colors. So if I change, you can see I went down, and so it's corresponding with the colors down here. It has a working range of 5 to 10 volts. I would say I've definitely used this as low as 5. I like to work around 6.5 with it. I've never gone above 7.5, but in the event that you need to use something more powerful, it does have the capability, which I absolutely love, because I don't like the idea of needing more than one machine to do the work that I do. I don't do traditional tattooing anymore. I just do permanent makeup and like scarring and things like that. And so I don't want to have to use different machines for different things. And so this one is all, you know, you can do all of the things that we do in our industry. I'll talk about some of the other specs because there are some things that might limit you if you're also doing regular tattooing or body tattooing, traditional tattooing. But as far as a permanent makeup machine, this does everything that you need for it to do. And so the housing itself is aluminum, and it is autoclavable, not the machine and the battery, but the grip down here, it is removable, and you can throw it in the autoclave. You can also wipe down the entire machine with cold sterilization. And this piece right here is a ratcheted adjustment system. And so what that means is, listen, you hear that clicking? So what that means is that when I turn it, it's not a smooth turn, it clicks. And there's different reasons why people would want it to be like that. For me personally, I like a ratcheted system, and I definitely like a tight twist, right? So the reason that we twist this is because when we put the needle into the machine, it's going to control your needle length. Now, I've used machines before that had a very loose twist here, which sounds great because when you're working, you don't want to have to like, you know, really grab it and twist it. But there have been times when I'm working and I will notice that my needle length has changed while I'm working, and I don't like that. Especially the vibration from the machine can cause it to move a little bit. So this one, it's a little tighter, which is great because it means it's not going to move while I'm working, and it's ratcheted, so it's not going to twist to the next distance without you actually doing it. So for me, big plus. Love that. And like I said, I also like that you can take it off and throw it in the autoclave. Now, I don't recommend using these without covering the whole machine because you still have, you know, look at in here, there's this whole lip right here. And so if you're not, and then also, you know, this is part of the machine, so you're not able to autoclave this. So you definitely don't want to not use a barrier product with these machines because it's going, you know, body fluids, bloodborne pathogens, bacteria, anything can get up inside here, and then you're not really able to properly autoclave it. However, if you have barrier film all around it and it becomes compromised, you can absolutely wipe it down with cold sterilization, and you could take the grip off and throw it in the autoclave. So some other information that you might want to know: the motor is a proprietary motor. It is made by Microbeau, so all of the quality and everything that you expect from a Microbeau machine is the same for this. Permablend worked with Microbeau to design these machines, and so it does have a proprietary direct drive motor, and it has a 2.7 millimeter stroke, which is perfect for permanent makeup. Some body tattoo machines, traditional tattoo machines, you'll see have like a 3.5 or 4 millimeter stroke, and that's not really something that we use often in permanent makeup, or probably ever. I don't really know anybody that uses that length in permanent makeup. So like I said before, the 2.7 is an all-around fabulous length to be able to do everything that we do in permanent makeup, including your scar camo, your stretch marks, your areola, things like that. So you won't need a second machine, and you'll be able to do all of your procedures. The entire machine is 4.2 ounces, which is incredibly light. And I will say, when these machines first started coming out, I was very nervous because, you know, thinking back to the days of the coil machines, I always hated having the power right up here at the top. And, you know, it's, aside from hand fatigue, having, you know, all of the weight right up here, it's also, if you've ever used a coil machine, you know that if you're not holding it nice and tight and you turn in a certain way, it can flip around and of course compromise, you know, the work that you're doing. And so when these machines first came out, I thought, oh gosh, these power supplies at the top are going to be so heavy, and you know, it's just going to create a weird leverage, you know, like a weird balance. But I will say that the battery up here, the power supply, is incredibly light. I barely feel it there, and I feel like the weight is mostly right here in the center, which for me is perfect. It allows me to move very easily. And if you notice, there's been a big change in tattooing, especially permanent makeup, where instead of holding the machine, you know, with like the whole hand, basically, a lot of people are really just using like these two fingers, right? Like you were seeing a lot of pendulum motion. Some people are just holding between these two and doing a lot of pendulum like this. And so to have a very heavy machine, you can't do that. And if it's not a well-balanced machine, you absolutely cannot do that. So to be able to, you know, easily maneuver this machine, to hold it so gently and lightly and maneuver it in that you know, that light airy pendulum way, and not have to worry about the balance, and also not get fatigued in the wrist and in the hands, is absolutely perfect. So 10 out of 10 on the balance and the weight of the machine. The grip part itself, the diameter of the grip is 26 millimeters, which is not very big at all. Traditionally, I usually like having a much thicker grip, and for that reason I've been using the Flux by Microbeau, the Xion-S, and it does have a much bigger grip than this. Let me grab it for you. So this is the Microbeau Flux, and you can see they are very, very similar, but this one is much bigger, right? And this is the Flux S, so it was made for permanent makeup. Their regular Flux is even thicker, and you can get bigger, thicker grips for this. I read on the website that they are coming out with different size grips for this. This one is 26 millimeters, and they are going to have different sizes for this. They're just not out yet. So if you like a bigger grip or a smaller grip, those are seemingly in the works. And so it's, again, it's not as thick as the Flux, but it is also not as thin as the Bellar, and I don't have a Bellar to show you next to it, but the Microbeau Bellar, I feel like for me is way too thin. I really struggle holding on to it. I feel like I'm just like white knuckling it the whole time. So I like that this one has the 26 millimeter grip. I thought that I would not like it because it's so thin, but especially coming from the Flux, but it's perfect for me. It's very easy to hold in the hand, and again, do that pendulum motion that's so popular right now. I just want to pop in, so this is a Vertex Pico cartridge. This is a universal cartridge machine, so any universal cartridge will fit in it. And so I'm just gonna pop the Vertex right in, and that's it. In and out, nice and easy. We'll turn it on. And I don't know if you could see, the needle's barely sticking out, so let's turn it a little bit. And now you can see. Okay. Easily turn it right back in and shut it off. So very easy to use. It's the, the way that machines are being made right now, they're all pretty standard, I think, as far as how they're used. Twist here for needle length. You cannot adjust unlike the Xion, if you remember, the Microbeau Xion has adjustable needle lengths, or stroke lengths, sorry, but these are fixed lengths, and again, it's 2.7 millimeters. So, and I will say, there are people who like to adjust for everything. I find that I adjust more in my technique than I do in my machine. So having a 2.7 millimeter needle length for me, or stroke length for me, is absolutely fine. If I need to make any adjustments, I make it in my technique. So there you have it. This was my unboxing review of the Permablend Permapen SIgnature, made by Permablend and Microbeau. This is available, of course, at permablend.com, and you can also get it on my website at teachmepmu.com. I will put the link right there. And if you use code Angela10, you'll get 10% off and free shipping.